Welcome to Manuscript, the art history show that lets us waffle on about whatever we like, really. Brought to you by our bookstore, Got Enough Books. Today we're hopping over the Atlantic to meet one of our finest living artists, Sylvia Snowden. Sylvia was born in Raleigh, North Carolina in 1942, and from an early age showed an interest in creating. Age 14, she and her family moved to Washington, D.C., where her parents, Dr. George W. Snowden and Mrs. Jessie Burns Snowden, encouraged her artistic pursuits at a young age, which led to her enrolment in the art department of Howard University, a university that was a hub for black Americans, as most other universities at the time were still segregated. Sylvia's paintings are big, very physically big, and they come at you with this energy that's hard to put into words. I was lucky enough to see her work at the Hepworth Wakefield last year, and it absolutely floored me. Standing in front of those canvases, you don't just look at the paint on the surface, you sort of feel the weight of it, the history and life of the subject that's been painted. She utilises a painting technique called impasto, which comes from the verb impastare, which means to knead or to make into a paste. The technique sees thick layers of paint added to the canvas. Snowden's most famous style of work was created across the 1970s and 80s. The figures raw, alive, often people Sylvia knew. Sometimes she would return to those subjects and paint them years later, as she did with Beverly Johnson. In an interview with Bomb magazine, Snowden described her paintings as about how we've become products of our own propaganda. Her career has taken her work all around the world, from Senegal to London to major museums in the US, and her paintings now live in collections like the Smithsonian and the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., where she grew up. Real full circle moment. The reason we love Snowden's work so much lies in its rich, deep layers of colour. Blues, reds and yellows all converge together to show bodies and forms as giants, larger than life representations of the people around us. Instead of clear features, these portraits almost showcase a person's aura or energy. Snowden spoke about how art doesn't need to have a binary line between what we think and what we feel, what we produce and what we provide. She said, "I hope 50 years from now, they won't have to say that they only either think or feel. Thinking and feeling will come together and operate in the same sense at the same time." For more on art, artists, or any other creative subjects, why not come down to Got Enough Books, where we have second-hand books for first-rate people.